Hi everyone, today I'm going to share with you 3 new holiday cookie recipes that are fantastic, easy, and will look great at any holiday gathering or cookie tin. As always, I'll have all the recipes linked down below in the description box. Our first recipe is a copycat of the Starbucks Cranberry Bliss Bar. These are fantastic. I haven't made them in years and forgot how good they are. So in the stand mixer, we've got our butter and sugar that we're going to cream together until it's nice and fluffy. And then we're going to go ahead and add in the eggs. And the vanilla extract. We're basically making a blondie base at this point. Blondie is vanilla brownie, if you didn't know. Next, in a separate bowl, we mix together all our dry ingredients, and the nice thing about these bars is the addition of ginger. Now, you're supposed to use fresh ginger, but we use what we have around here. We had ground ginger, and it worked just fine. Then, before you turn on your stand mixer, make sure you incorporate that flour a little bit, otherwise you will paint your kitchen in flour, and stay tuned to see what I do when I don't follow this rule. These bars are so festive because of the addition of the cranberries and white chocolate. Once you mix that all together, you're going to want to spread it out on a 12 by 16 baking pan. You can use a 9 by 13 if that's what you have. You're going to want to use wet hands because this batter is sticky. Then you're going to want to bake it in the oven at 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes and let it cool. When it comes out, it's going to look like this. Don't worry, those edges are all going to get trimmed and it's going to look just fine. Then, here's the piece de resistance, the cream cheese lemon frosting. This is so delicious. I would recommend using a whisk attachment if you have that on your stand mixer because it's going to make it nice and light and fluffy. Ours turned more out like a glaze, but it worked just fine. You're going to want to spread this all over the cooled bars and just look at how glorious that looks. And I can promise you, this glaze is worth it. For the finishing touches, you just want to sprinkle over some dried cranberries and drizzle it with white chocolate. You're going to want to let these bars sit in the fridge for about 2 hours to harden, and then slice them into squares and then triangles. I told you that glaze was worth it. That is my friend licking it off her counter. Next, we're going to make some peppermint mocha cookies. I'm starting to realize I had a Starbucks theme going on here. But again, in your stand mixer, you're going to cream together your butter and sugars until light and fluffy. And make sure you do this for a good amount of time. You really want that consistency to change into something that resembles whipped frosting. Then you're going to want to add in your eggs, vanilla, and peppermint extract. Make sure you taste your batter so that you don't go overboard or too little on the peppermint. This recipe calls for espresso powder. If you don't have that, just use instant coffee. It works just as well. We used good old Maxwell House and it turned out just fine. Remember when I told you to mix in the dry ingredients before turning on your stand mixer? We should do this every year. This is fun. I was just so excited about these cookies, I just couldn't contain myself. This is what you're supposed to do. And look at that glorious batter. These cookies turned into these fudgy, brownie, delicious things, and oh my goodness, the kitchen smelled so good. We bake these in a 350-degree oven for about 6 to 10 minutes. Just keep an eye on them, and we let them cool on a cooling rack before decorating. You could buy pre-smashed candy canes, but who doesn't have some holiday rage they need to take out? And my friend broke her cutting board doing this, so that's exciting. Then we melted some white chocolate and sprinkled on those crushed up candy cane bits. These were delicious and definitely the biggest hit with my 2 kids. Our Our last recipe is a Linzer cookie, which my neighbor used to make growing up, and they were one of my favorite Christmas cookies. I looked forward to her Linzer cookies every single year, and they are the easiest cookie to make. So it's important to sift your icing sugar because that's what's going to make these so light and fluffy, and my sifter was having a day. These cookies are literally butter, vanilla, powdered sugar, and salt. Super easy. Icing sugar definitely would paint your kitchen, so make sure you pre-mix. I learned, see? This dough does need to chill in the fridge for about half an hour, but once it's chilled, you can pull it out. It's really easy to work with. And using a rolling pin, you want to roll it to be about 1/4 of an inch thick before you start cutting your cookies. You want to try to find a 3-inch wide round cookie cutter. Again, we use what we have around here, and we had this handy dandy glass, so that's what we used. Linzer cookies are a sandwich cookie, and in the inside goes raspberry jam. You can make homemade, we use store-bought, do you. But you want to make sure you have an even number of tops and bottoms. So the bottoms will have no hole, the tops will have a hole. And you can use a festive cookie cutter to make the hole, which was my original plan, but I forgot my little snowflake. So we just used the top of a Benelin cap because that's what we had. These bake in a 325-degree oven for about 12 to 17 minutes. We found 17 was perfect for my friend's oven. Then you want to dust the tops in icing sugar, spread jam on the bottom, and then sandwich them together. I hope you enjoyed this little baking extravaganza. These are the final products. They turned out so great, and I can promise you they all taste fantastic as well. Let me know what your favorite Christmas cookie is to make, and if you make any of these, make sure you let me know. I will see you all in the next video.